Baker Mayfield, 23 of 31 passing for Tampa, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rashad White rushed for a score. Kansas City improves to 4-0 at home this season. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes, 6-0 all-time in career overtime games. Kansas City has a franchise record 14-game winning streak, including the playoffs. The Buccaneers have lost 3 in a row and sit second in the NFC South.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
If you're not planning to come into Macy's this week, you're missing out because our Friends and Family Sale is happening now. What does that mean? It means when you use your coupon or Macy's card, you can take an extra 30% off, just like Friends and Family can. That's 30% off the latest trends, 30% off new arrivals, 30% off the best brands. It's just this week. It's just what you've been waiting for, and it's only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
The 90s called. They said the Gordita Supreme is so back in the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's all looking fresh to death with the pillowy 90s Gordita Supreme alongside the beefy 5-layer burrito, double stacked taco, chips with nacho cheese sauce, and medium drink. All for just $7. It's your wallet's favorite cheesy crunchy combo here for a limited time. Grab yours and relive the decades only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. While supplies last. Contact store for pricing participation.
Bialek's Bar and Grill Wisconsin Dells is the quintessential American grill and bar, with refined rustic cuisine and award-winning libations. Their honest, feel-good food menu is complemented by a beer list to satisfy every taste. Classic cocktails and our signature shakes, rich and creamy with a splash of boozy goodness just to shake things up a little bit. Bialek's Grill and Bar, classic American cuisine with a contemporary twist.
It is 9:05. This is the first shift. Welcome back to Election Day here on WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. We apologize for the technical problems. I think Comcast had an outage issue here in the neighborhood, and that was the problem behind our demise the last couple of hours. But we are back to fulfill our duties with election coverage here today. My name is Mark, and we are back up on YouTube at WRMN Radio as well, if you want to join me that way. And we'll rally the first shift together for one more hour here, and then Matt's got out to lunch coming up between 10 and 1 today. And this afternoon from 2 until 4, we will have Tammy and Talk Time with Tammy. And Sonar and Ben are on our way to the station right now, and they'll have a long day for you, starting with their Apolitical Talk show at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Lots of guests throughout the day as well, as we try to be politically involved and talk to some of the local politicians and keep you updated on all the results as we get them tonight, right here on Election Day. We are back on YouTube at WRMN Radio on YouTube, and love to hear your comments this hour. If you want to jump in and say hey to us, I may go back to the earlier YouTube feed to say hi to a few people in our first shift staff meeting who we haven't had a chance to get to, or didn't have a chance to get to before the power went down. Comcast issue, I do believe it was, that got us this morning. Let's see, I have a phone call coming in right now. It's Westside Freddie checking in. The phone number to call is 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410 if you want to call me this hour. We're also back up with our Image 360 information line, and that phone number is 505-926-1410, 505-926-1410. Let's take a phone call and see if we can get back into the swing of things this hour. Good morning, Westside Freddie.
Hey, Marky B, you know me.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm glad everything's working good now, man.
Yeah, were you standing by and just waiting for us to get back on the air?
I was just waiting, man. I was scanning 2 different radios. Apple Tunes wasn't working. Bummer, man.
Yeah. Bummer, man. on Election Day, but we're back. We'll do the best we can from here.
For sure, shifters, get out there and vote. Whatever way you go, just vote today.
Yeah.
I voted early at the township on the first day, last Tuesday before. So.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. I voted last Thursday on Halloween, and I'm glad I did. I haven't gotten an indication of how. I think the polls are fairly busy this morning. I heard that even right after they open at 6, some of the local places had a decent crowd of people.
Right.
But I think with all the early voting that we've had in the last 2 weeks, it might be a little better than Election Day normally is.
I think so. It's supposed to be the biggest election in 50 years or half a century or something, whatever. So that's pretty exciting. But praying for change, man. We're keeping on praying right over here.
Yeah. I need some change, man.
I know, man. And I could use a few extra coins in my pocket.
That's what I mean, of course. We need some more change.
Change, man.
Yeah. All right, Westside. Well, thanks for hanging in there with us, man.
No problem, brother. We'll talk a little later.
All right, talk to you soon.
All right, be blessed, all.
You be blessed. Westside Freddy, he knows he's blessed. 10 past 9. It's a Blues Day Tuesday. It's a News Day Tuesday, and Medicare made A, B, C, D easy is going to have to be rescheduled. So we're just going to go ahead and have an hour of the first shift here until 10, and our local coverage will continue throughout the day and through the evening, as I mentioned before. The weather situation, it's been very breezy out all morning long. And I wondered if that had anything to do with anything, but who knows. But I'll give you the weather update right now. We're sitting at 65 degrees and light rain here in the downtown Elgin area. Winds are out of the south at 17 miles per hour. Showers in the forecast on and off throughout the day. Till about 5 o'clock, there is an 80% chance we'll see a couple more showers here and there in the Fox River Valley. Today's high, not moving much. We're at 65 this hour, and we're only calling for a high of about 66 today, so the temperature is going to hold steady. This evening, the rain finally tapers off. A cold front comes through. We have a slight chance of a shower. Mostly cloudy skies, a low down to 42. And then we're back to seasonal fall-like temperatures with sunshine. Back in the forecast for the next 3 days. Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, partly sunny tomorrow with a high of 55. Tomorrow night, patchy fog, otherwise partly cloudy with a low of 39. And for your Thursday, we're up to 57 with more sunshine after a little early morning fog. And Friday, we're looking at patchy fog early again, otherwise sunshine with a high of 58. So upper 50s for the rest of the week. Chillier overnight lows, again, more like it's supposed to be, as we'll have a low of 42 tonight, 37 tomorrow night, and 41 for Friday night. So upper 50s for daytime highs, upper 30s for overnight lows. Currently, we're sitting at 65, still light rain in the area. 12 past 9 here at WRMN. All right, we are back on YouTube. If you want to say hey to us, you can. We'll resume our staff meeting a little bit, and I'll cover some stories. I see that Brendan has joined us this morning. Hey, Brendan. He says, hey, WRMN listeners, I'm Brendan, and I'm listening.
Wow.
He had to be patient with us this morning, but Brendan is in, and he's listening.
Wow.
Hi, Brendan. Hector checks in. Hector in the fam says, good morning, Mark and First Shifters from Hector, Ninny Rose, Jeremiah, Uncle Boom Boom in the house. Again, raising the roof, sending 3 prayers to our prayer scoreboard. We might need the prayers. All the other bells and whistles I've already brought back to my office, but I did bring the prayer scoreboard back in here. And before we went down with our rain delay a couple of hours ago, we were at 43 on the prayer scoreboard, so now we're at 46. 9:13 here at WRMN. As I mentioned, we're also on the Image 360 information line, if you want to send me a message that way today. All the information that we have the information on all the different candidates according to, I'm not sure where. Sonar put all of this together. It's a description on who the different candidates are for all the different races and what they stand for. So if there's somebody that you would like to ask about, I might have the information here to pass along to you. And I was just starting to talk about a couple of our local representatives right before we went down at about 10 past 7 here at WRMN. On the earlier feed this morning, on our initial feed, and it is a Newsday Tuesday, I did see on YouTube that I had a comment from somebody, I can't remember who, I'll have to pull up the first feed to see who. Someone was a little surprised I hadn't mentioned the news yet about the Chicago police officer who was shot. And that's a story I was just about to get into in the 7 o'clock hour. So let me locate that, and we'll share the news that I have on that from what took place on the south side of Chicago last night. It is 9:14 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. And so I will track that down. I also have a lot of our local voting locations. So if you're wondering where you can vote today, some of the early voting locations are no longer open. But David Tees, our friend who is running for Kane County Board District 22, did send me a list that is more local as to some different places you can check in and vote today. And I guess let's start with a few of the places here in Elgin. If you are out and about today and you're looking for a place to vote, the Gale Borden Public Library is still available at 270 North Grove Avenue. American Legion, Post 57, where they're having Taco Tuesday today, is another location inside the Elgin Township. Commander Mark Smith stopped in a little while ago, and when we were down and said hey to us this morning, he was headed to the American Legion, and it's going to be a busy day over at the American Legion. That's Post 57 at 820 North Liberty Street. Elgin Community College at 1700 Spartan Drive. You can vote there. The New Life Covenant Church at 2250 West Highland Avenue. Greater Grace Community Church, where Sidekick Susan said she was going to vote, 991 Deborah Avenue. The Evangelical Free Church at 1900 Big Timber Road is a place that you can vote today. Senior Services Associates, right down the road from the radio station at 101 South Grove Avenue. Senior Services. Of course, the Elgin Township, which has been very busy for the last 2 weeks. Elgin Township, the address is at 729 South McLean Boulevard. The Village of South Elgin Public Services is another place. And they're at 1000 Bowes Road in South Elgin. Northwest Bible Baptist Church at 9N889 Nestler Road. You can vote there. Let's see. Highland Avenue Church of the Brethren at 783 West Highland. Many of the churches around. First Presbyterian Church of Elgin at 240 Standish Street. And that pretty much covers the areas here in the city of, in the Elgin Township, where you can place a vote today. We have listeners that listen in from Hampshire, thanks to our recent broadcasts that we've had on in Hampshire and unification with some of the great leaders out there. We had Jeannie Mayer from the Chamber of Commerce in a few weeks ago to join us on our afternoon show, Dino's Night Out. We have had the Mayor Mike Reed on before, and he was on the live broadcast Saturday when we broadcast from Holidays on State Street. Mayor Reed's going to be my guest Thursday morning in the 8 o'clock hour right here on the first shift. And we're not going to just talk Hampshire, we're just going to talk radio. So we look forward to having Mayor Mike Reed on as my co-host Thursday morning in the 8 o'clock hour right here on WRMN. Tomorrow, Elliot Serrano. He's our new sales guy, but he's also a radio personality, and he will be on with me tomorrow morning. And I believe Elliot might be a part of our election coverage tonight as well. Elliot Serrano, my guest tomorrow morning in the 8 o'clock hour, co-hosting the hour with me. We're going to work some new co-hosts in and see what sticks, as they say in the biz. Throw some darts and see what sticks. Friday morning, Jake's is here. And on Tuesdays, it's a News Day Tuesday. We might introduce a guest here soon to join me for a part of the Tuesday show. 9:19. But now back to my point. Where you can vote today. Hampshire Township. The place at the Hampshire Township is the First United Methodist Church. And that is at 207 Grove Avenue in Hampshire. If you're out there and you want a place to vote here on Election Day. That's the one place in Hampshire. Dundee Township offers many different places, including Fox Valley Baptist Church on Vista Lane in Dundee, the Santa Monica's Parish Hall at 90 North Kennedy, Route 25 in Carpentersville, at the St. Monica's Parish Hall. The Carpentersville Fire Station number 93, I've mentioned that, at 5000 Sleepy Hollow Road in Dundee Township. The Algonquin Lakes Elementary School at 1401 Compton Drive in Algonquin. West Dundee Village Hall at 102 South 2nd Street in West Dundee. The Fox Valley Church at 37 West 073 Huntley Road in Dundee. And the Westfield Community School at 2100 Sleepy Hollow Road in Algonquin are some of the places that you can vote in Dundee Township today. 9:20 here at WRMN, AM 1410, and WRMN Radio on YouTube. We're going to take a phone call at 847-931-1410. Here in the final hour of the first shift. Again, Medicare made ABCD easy schedule for this hour, but we called off the dogs. I thought we were going to be off the air a little bit longer than we were. Danny has to come all the way from Rockford to do the program, so I got him turned around before he got all the way to Elgin. Let's check on the phones right now and check in with my good friend, my new good friend, Mayor Mike Reed from Hampshire. Good morning, Mike.
Hi, good morning. Happy Election Day.
Yes, sir. Same to you. How you doing?
I'm living the dream out here. It's great weather for a duck.
It is. It's a good day to vote.
Yes, it's a good day for indoor activities for sure.
That's what I'm saying. You got to go inside to vote, so it's a good day to get inside there and place your final vote today. How are things in Hampshire this morning?
Everything is going really well, as far as I know. Everybody is doing their civic duty.
Yeah.
Other than the rain, but, we need it. Some of the farmers aren't very happy about it because they're getting put behind, because with the fields being wet, they're not able to get out there and finish up their harvest. But we're not supposed to get enough rain that it's going to cause too many problems, so they should get it done pretty quick, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you know what, and really hasn't been that bad. I mean, last night it rained a lot. It's still raining right now, but by about 5 o'clock this afternoon, I think it's going to be almost finished, and we'll be back to sunshine for 3 days.
Yeah. So if I could, I would just like to say to everybody that, it is your, right as a citizen and a privilege to vote. And not everybody in this world has the rights or privileges to do so. So even if you were thinking about not voting, it doesn't matter who you vote for. It matters that you vote.
Yeah.
And, so, and the other side of this is that November 6th is coming regardless. And so it's just important to remember that, your neighbors, your friends, your family may have signs out in their yard or posted online with things that you don't necessarily agree with, issues that you don't necessarily see eye to eye on. But at the end of the day, November 6th is coming, and we're all one community. And we need to remember that, because no matter what's said on November 5th or before, we still have to learn to live with each other on November 6th, regardless of who wins or what issue passes or what issue fails. And so it's just, I think that there's some people in the community where that reminder will help, that we're all in this together.
Yep.
Sometimes it doesn't feel like that, but we do.
Yeah, and and whatever happens, we're going to have a new president, whether it's Donald Trump, he'd be a new old president, but or it's Kamala Harris. But we've got to do something in the next 4 years with whoever the leader is to try to start to bridge this divide that's come to the United States a little bit over the past few years.
Yeah, and you know what? History does repeat itself. If you look in history, I mean, this type of thing has happened before, where the country has seemed extremely divided, and hopefully, with the fact that history does repeat itself, the other side of this starts to turn a little bit. And again, this doesn't have to do with what party affiliation or what side of the issue you're on. It just means that, you know, at the end of the day, we got to be good people, and we got to be good people to each other.
Yes, sir. Well said, Mike Reed. I guess that's why you're the mayor.
That's what they tell me.
You say smart things like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's smart or not, but I've learned through this that you get more done working together than you do working independently. And one of the biggest key of it is you don't necessarily need to agree to work together. Yeah. I mean, you don't need to agree on every single issue to be able to work together and move forward. And I really believe that. And if you think about that, I mean, it goes to, you know, I was born and raised in a family with 5 kids. And if you think seeing eye to eye with your brothers and sisters is always 100% of the time, you're crazy. So it goes back to when you're a child, and, you know, you have to learn to live with each other, you know, and just because your neighbor has a sign up in their yard that you don't agree with doesn't mean you shouldn't talk to them or say hi to them at the grocery store, or that you're not going to run into them at the restaurant. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's, you know, being your neighbor is kind of like being married. Unless you're going to spend the money and get divorced or move, you know, being a neighbor, you're going to have to find a way to live next to each other. So you might as well figure that out before it turns contentious. For sure. Well, I appreciate you coming in Thursday morning to work with me here. Hey, I'm looking forward to it. To be honest with you, I'm looking forward to taking my mayor hat off for a little bit and getting to actually have some fun as a real person. So I appreciate the opportunity. Yeah. You can put your radio hat back on. You do have a little bit of a radio background. That is true. They did let me on the radio for a little while on one of the stations in the city, and I've been a regular contributor to a couple of shows over the years, and so this is kind of a neat thing for me, so it's kind of like coming home, so I appreciate the opportunity. Yeah. I'll email you the agenda, buddy. Oh, man, I'll stay on topic. No, actually, if you want to bring in a couple things that you want to talk about, that would be fine. I think maybe that's the beauty of having some different guest hosts coming in is everybody has their own maybe interests, and so it might just bring some other things out on the show. But I'll have my agenda, too, that I'll email you. Oh, man, well, we'll talk off the air a little bit because you opened up the floodgates. I got all kinds of ideas, but they're probably not good. Oh, that's okay. You're used to that if you listen to this show. No, like I said, one of my favorite topics that you cover is more, so I like that. Thanks for calling in this morning, Mike. All right, thank you. Have a great day. You too. I'll see you Thursday. All righty, bye-bye. Bye. Mayor Mike Reed checking in. This is one of my new co-hosts. Now you can see why, right? Now you can see why. He'll be in Thursday morning in the 9 o'clock, in the 8 o'clock hour. As soon as he can get here, he drops off little Mikey Reed Jr. II at about 7:45, and then he's going to make his way in from Hampshire. So clear out the roads, please. The mayor's trying to get from Hampshire to here, and I'm not sure he's going to have a personal escort. So just move out of the way. I got to let you know what kind of car he's driving. And we got to get him on the air as early in the 8 o'clock hour as we can on Thursday morning. It's 9:28 here at WRMN. I did find the information out about Officer Enrique Martinez, 26 years old. Dino sent me the story earlier this morning. Shot and killed in the line of duty on the city's south side. I want to go over this story
So I see that I'm about to hit the bottom of the hour here, so I'll save this for the backside of the bottom of the hour news, and I'll get into this story a little bit, and we can continue to go over some places that you can vote depending on where you are today. If you'd like to call in from where you're voting today and let us know what the crowd's like, that'd be fine. If you're a local candidate, I have heard from David Tees this morning. He likes the way he sees things going for him and for others on the local Republican side. Candidates are welcome to call throughout the day as well. Sonar and Ben will be in. Matt's going to be in a little while. Tammy this afternoon. But anytime we have any news to break on what's happening with the election today, we'll be sure to jump in and do that throughout everybody's show. 9:29 here at WRMN. We're back on YouTube. First Shift Sherry says, before I left my apartment this morning, the power almost went out 4 times. It seems to correspond with the time you went off air. So I suspect that power problem was yours too. Yes, things were flickering. They flickered early in the 6 o'clock hour. They flickered again right before our power went off. So it was a power Comcast combination. I don't know. All I know is it was a drag, man. But we're back now. That's all we can do. We can't worry about what we can't control. We just go from here, and we will make the best day of it we can and keep you as posted as we can on all the local elections. It's 9:30. I have some First Shift 411, some more comments, and some news stories to get to in the next half hour. Keep it right here on the First Shift on a rainy Tuesday election day.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan. Brought to you by Cintas. Kane County landmarks like the Government Center and the 3rd Street Courthouse are now glowing green this week. The illumination, part of Operation Greenlight, a national initiative to show support and appreciation for veterans. It'll be going on from now through Veterans Day, with the green light serving as a beacon of thanks to those who served in the military. The City of Elgin and Metra announcing that there will be a closure on Kimball Street Railroad Crossing on Wednesday, starting at 5 a.m. Metra is scheduled to conduct crucial repair work expected to last about 15 hours. 3 Naperville police officers honored for their heroics back in January. Allison Simcoe, Courtney Duffy, and Mark Schumacher were honored by the 100 Club of DuPage County. They took part in a rescue in January in which they saved a family from a freezing pond as their vehicle was sinking following an accident. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
The only downside to Taco Bell's Cravings value menu is having to decide. It's got 10 different favorites for $3 or less. How do I choose between the super beefy cheesy double beef burrito, the crunchy loaded beef nachos, the pillowy 3-cheese chicken flatbread, or the... I don't have time to list them all. I'll have to go to Taco Bell and try them. The Taco Bell Cravings value menu. 10 items, $3 or less. At participating U.S. stores while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies. Tax extra. Double seasoned beef compared to the Burrito Supreme.
Not sure how much you know about Progressive Insurance. You may know us for insuring your home and auto. You may know a couple of our commercials. But what you may not know is that since 2013, Progressive has been honoring veterans with vehicle donations through the annual Keys to Progress Veteran Vehicle Giveaway Program, giving back to those who gave so much. Now, you probably didn't wake up today saying, I really wish I knew more about Progressive Insurance, but this seemed like the type of thing people wouldn't mind hearing about. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. Despite back-to-back losses, the Bears will stick with offensive coordinator Shane Waldron calling plays. The Jazz beat the Bulls 135-126 last night. Nikola Vukovic, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists in the loss for the Bulls, who dropped to 1-2 at United Center this season, 3-4 overall. The Bulls have lost 2 in a row. Kobe White had 28 points. Meanwhile, Zach LaVine sat the game out with an injury. The men's college basketball season's underway. Charleston beat Southern Illinois 90-80. UIC over St. Francis of Illinois 91-43. UT Martin over Illinois State 67-65. Number 14 Purdue beat Texas A&M Corpus Christi 90-73. Northwestern with a 90-46 win over Lehigh. Illinois routed Eastern Illinois 112-67.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
If you're not planning to come into Macy's this week, you're missing out because our Friends and Family Sale is happening now. What does that mean? It means when you use your coupon or Macy's card, you can take an extra 30% off, just like Friends and Family can. That's 30% off the latest trends, 30% off new arrivals, 30% off the best brands. It's just this week. It's just what you've been waiting for, and it's only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
The 90s called. They said the Gordita Supreme is so back in the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's all looking fresh to death with the pillowy 90s Gordita Supreme alongside the beefy 5-layer burrito, double stacked taco, chips with nacho cheese sauce, and medium drink. All for just $7. It's your wallet's favorite cheesy crunchy combo here for a limited time. Grab yours and relive the decades only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. While supplies last. Contact store for price and participation, which varies. Drinks and foods freezes. Tax extra.
From the pages of the Elgin newspapers of 100 years ago today, these are the headlines brought to you by the Elgin History Museum.
I'm Nick Freeman, and here's what was happening 100 years ago today. Grandma Shields' ballot gets special treatment by judge. Mrs. Kate Grandma Shields of Elgin, who turned 101 years of age last Thursday, was today one of the loyal Elgin citizens who saw to it that her duty in voting was discharged. Mrs. Shields, Elgin's only centenarian, voted for Calvin Coolidge and the straight Republican ticket. True, her hand was not as firm in placing the cross in the circle at the head of the Republican ticket as was her purpose and desire to vote, but Grandma Shields fulfilled her obligation to her country nevertheless. Mrs. Shields was unable to go to the polls today. However, the election judge, E. Solenberger, who is in charge of the polling place in Mrs. Shields' district, the 11th, saw to it that her ballot was properly cast. Mrs. Kronk and state motorcycle policeman Paul Clendenning early this morning visited the home of Mrs. Shields and witnessed the marking of her ballot.
Elgin 100 years ago is a presentation of the Elgin History Museum. Be sure to visit the museum located at 360 Park Street in Elgin, open Wednesday through Saturdays 11 to 4. You can also listen to Elgin 100 years ago at www.elginhistory.org.
Election Day underway, 9:36. WRMN AM 1410, WRMN Radio on YouTube. We'll be covering it for you all throughout the day and especially throughout the evening as the results start to come in. Dino brought the WRMN limo to work with him today. The official limo might be on the election scene this afternoon and this evening, so listen in. Throughout the evening, Ben and Sonar and Elliot and myself and Dino, Matt, everybody will chip in some way or another, and we'll get the job done tonight. When will we know when we have a new president? I don't know. Will it be in the next couple of days? It's going to be a crazy day. As the Mayor Mike said a few minutes ago, make sure you vote. And let's put our differences aside and try to work together as a nation. 9:37, I have all the Kane County voting locations available for you. So if you're wondering where you can go today, and you have a question, I will certainly print that out and make it available to all of our hosts in here. I went over some of the locations in the last half hour. But every jurisdiction, every area, of course, has options. And I went over Dundee Township a little bit for you. I went over Elgin for you. I went over Hampshire for you. In Campton Township, there's Town and Country Library at 320 East North Street. That's in Elburn. the Campton Township Community Center at 5 North 082 Old LaFox Road, St. Charles. Congregational UCC Church at Fox Mill Boulevard in St. Charles. The Grace Lutheran Church at Hanson Road in St. Charles are some places you can go in St. Charles or in the Campton Township. And the list goes on and on, so if you wonder, let me know. Give me a location where you are, and I can help you find maybe the closest place to where you might be today. 9:38 on Election Day, November the 5th, the 310th day of the year. And thanks for listening to WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. All right, before the bottom of the hour news break with our news flash service, I talked about the story that I did hear early this morning that Dino sent information to me about, and that Kay, who was listening into our earlier YouTube feed, was wondering why I hadn't mentioned it. So Kay was busting me out, but I don't know, maybe I should have mentioned it earlier. It's a tragedy. Anytime a law enforcement officer gets shot, and then it happened in Chicago on the south side with a young police officer last night. So here's the details, what I know so far. Chicago Police Department officer Enrique Martinez shot and killed in the line of duty on the city's south side. He was 26 years old. Served with the Chicago Police Department for nearly 3 years, according to Superintendent Larry Snelling. He had been working out of the 6th District. Martinez was identified by the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office and also in a Chicago Fraternal Order of Police Facebook post this morning. Police said about 8 o'clock last night, officers stopped a vehicle with 3 people inside in the 8000 block of South Ingleside Avenue in the Chatham neighborhood. And when officers approached the vehicle, the driver fired multiple shots, which sounded like rapid fire, according to Superintendent Snelling. The shots hit an officer later identified as Martinez and possibly a passenger inside the vehicle, who was also killed in the incident. At least one officer did return fire. Enrique Martinez, 26 years old, was transported to the University of Chicago Hospital where he died. Police said the driver who opened fire tried to drive off, hitting and injuring another officer, and then the driver got out of the vehicle and ran but could not get away. The driver was taken into custody along with a third person inside the vehicle, a passenger who was in the back seat. I guess the other passenger in the vehicle was also shot. The passenger shot and killed inside the vehicle was found to be in possession of a handgun. Chicago Police Department also recovered another weapon from the scene that had an extended magazine. Snelling added that the weapon was semi-automatic and also said that one suspect had cut off his ankle monitor. There you go. One of the suspects had cut off his ankle monitor, which means that particular suspect very well could have been and maybe should have been behind bars. Is this another thing that has occurred because of the Safety Act, where someone is out and shouldn't be? 9:42 here at WRMN. Officials said one officer is confirmed to have fired their weapon, and investigators are still trying to determine if any other officers fired their weapons. Police confirmed the incident started as a traffic stop, but would not comment on the nature or circumstances surrounding the stop. So this happened early this morning, or actually last night. It is 9:42 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. First shift, thanks for being patient with me this morning. We fought through the technical battles and Back on the air now, and hopefully everything will be okay for the rest of the day. We're on YouTube once again this morning, and No Nickname John came back for a second try. He says, well, in case you missed it, good morning, first shifters. Election day at last. No kidding, at last is right. If it takes more than 24 hours to get any election results up, says No Nickname John, it will be a case of electile dysfunction. If it takes more than 24 hours to get any election results up, it will be a case of electile dysfunction, says No Nickname John.
Please be quiet.
This needs to stop now.
Shut up!
Pretty good, No Nickname John. You're off to a red-hot start this week, buddy. I'm going to give you another 9. That's even pushing 10 there, but I'm going to stop at 9. That's back-to-back 9s, as I see it from No Nickname John. To start off our week. He's on YouTube with us this morning. We are also, as I mentioned, on our Image 360 information line. If you're out and about today, make sure you send us any pictures that you would like to send us, and we'll share on our local programming today. 58 Mike says, morning, are we serving lunch today? I don't know for sure. I assume you're talking about at the American Legion. I want to say that they are serving lunch today at the American Legion. Commander Smith, I'm not sure if you're listening right now, but if he is, maybe he could let us know and confirm, but I do think they probably are serving lunch at the American Legion today, especially considering there's going to be a lot of people there with voting going on at the Elgin American Legion Post 57. Sensational Shelley trying to put a positive spin on today despite the rain. It is election day. We have had our issues this morning, but Shelley says, good morning to y'all. What a beautiful day it's going to be. Enjoy it. Maybe do some baking when you're done voting. Whatever you do today, have a good day, says the sensational one. Sensational Shelley, who sends us 10 prayers to our prayer scoreboard. Thank you, Shelley. And thanks for being the queen of positivity, joining us every day here on the show. That text actually came at 12:38 a.m. Neil checked in this morning. Long-time listener to the show. He doesn't check in all the time, but he's a good man. And Neil says, hey, Mark, just got back from voting. And he was letting me know about being off the air earlier. So Neil waited and voted first thing this morning after the polls opened at 6 a.m. Linda Wildtree Hitzeman checks in right now on the Image 360 information line at 505-926-1410. Image 360, 506 Sundown, South Elgin, Bold Solutions, exceptional support. And she says, I missed the Pick 6 winner. I'm glad you asked, Wildtree. A lot of people did well in the Pick 6 this week. I think I got to make the games a little bit tougher. But 3 people were perfect, as a matter of fact, in the Pick 6 this week. 3 were a perfect 6-0. And this week's winner in the Pick 6 is my friend, your friend, everybody's friend, the Big Boss Man.
Hell yeah.
Big Boss Man went 6-0 this week in the Pick 6, and he only missed the final score on Sunday night's game by 1 point. He said the final was going to be Minnesota 21, Indy 14, and the final was 21-13. So, way to go, Big Boss Man. Gregarious Gina was 6-0. I think it's the second time this year she's been perfect, but she's lost the tiebreaker both times when she has. And one of our people from Gary's Garage, they sent about 4 or 5 picks in this week from Gary's Garage over on Melrose. We had another 6-0 perfect score from Gary's Garage this week, but again, that score was quite a bit off. Big Boss Man wins a $25 gift card to Rookie's All-American Sports Pub and Grill. He can use it at Alexander's Cafe. You can use it over at Old Republic on Randall Road or Village Squire. A couple of locations One's in West Dundee, and one is in South Elgin. Way to go, Big Boss Man. The new Pick 6 sheets will be out today. I will, soon after the show, probably send the updated sheet to Mike Patty, our internet guy, and he'll update it on our website at WRMN1410.com. That's WRMN1410.com. You can send your picks in, and maybe you'll have a chance to win the Pick 6 somewhere down the road. Wild Tree says, yay, someone I know won the Pick 6. She's happy about that. That's good enough for her. Let's go to the phones and talk to the commander who must have been listening in a short time ago. Hey, Mark Smith, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. Just checking in from the post. Of course, it's a polling place, so it's not packed, but the steady stream of voters coming in, which is nice to see. So, in and out there, it's been a smooth process, so that's good. Congrats to Big Boss Man. I went 3 for 3. Number one because I picked the Bears, so I tried to stick with them, but yeah, I knew better. But you know how it goes.
Time to jump off the bandwagon now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, they might be able to handle New England this weekend, but I think that what's happened in the last 2 weeks has really set the Bears back a lot.
Right, and no nickname John is on he's on fire. He's on a roll.
Wasn't that good? Electile dysfunction?
I loved it. Yeah, it's a good one.
Right.
Yeah, just checking in as well. So, yeah, we do have Taco Tuesday going on today, 11:30 to, I think, 1:30 for lunch, and then 4 to 7 for dinner. So we got $2 tacos, or the plates, which come with beans and rice, are, I think, $8.
Awesome. So you're getting in on the Taco Tuesday action, and maybe we can slide on there and try down there and try it today. I know the Big Boss Man and a few first shifters, I think, are going to go down there tonight.
Yeah, they're really good. So I got the new staff in there, and they're doing a good job. So, yeah, tacos are really good. So come out and give them a try, and any voters that are in there can grab a plate on the way out if they want. So it's all good.
Yeah. All right, brother. Thanks for checking in and updating us.
Oh, yeah, one other update. The Queen of Hearts last night was not drawn. It was the number 51 card was drawn, which was, I believe, the 6 of diamonds, and paid $100. So jackpot continues to grow.
Jackpot continues to grow. And on YouTube right now, by the way, is Mike Tooman. He's the chief guard of the Republic. And he says, hey, Mark. I'm going to say he's saying, hey, Mark, to you, but I think he's saying, hey, Mark, to me. But, yeah, so if you would promote the fact that he's on every Saturday at noon to your friends over at the American Legion, Mark, that'd be great. Maybe we can get a few supporters for his program Saturdays at noon.
Yeah, we will, for sure. And I'll try and give a call in this week as well.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks for all you do, buddy.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. Talk to you soon.
All right. See you. Bye-bye.
The Commander, Mark Smith, checking in. 9:51 here at WRMN. American Legion Post 57 is one of many, 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 many places you can go vote today. And I've got all the places you can vote, from Aurora Township to Big Rock Township, Blackberry Township, Campton, which I mentioned, those locations. Burlington Township, there's one place in Burlington Township at St. John's Lutheran Church at 13 North 535 French Road in Burlington. Hey, speaking of which, hate to get too far off track here, but speaking of which, I'll be curious to see how that referendum turns out in Burlington for building the new schools out in Burlington. We've had the pro-referendum and the anti-referendum people both speak here on the first shift over the past couple of months. That'll be a vote I'll have to find out the results from to make sure we see how that works out. And I also have the high school football schedule for this week's games. Just mentioning Burlington here with the township and voting available at the church made me think about the referendum, and it made me think about this week's high school football schedule, because Burlington Central is playing Geneva, and that's a 6 o'clock Saturday night game. 6 o'clock Saturday night game in Geneva. How about that? What you doing Saturday night? 9:52 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. That'd be a fun one to go see, I think. I'm going to take one more phone call here in a second. I just want to say that if you have any questions about where you can vote, Dundee Township, Batavia Township, Geneva Township, Elgin Township, Plato Township, Rutland Township, Caneville Township, St. Charles Township, There's too many to mention here on this radio show because it would get kind of boring fast. But if you have any questions, call in and we can probably send you in the right direction. Sugar Grove Township, Virgil Township. We have all the locations available here in front of me. 9:53 here at WRMN, AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. Now to the phones we go at 847-931-1410. Coming down the home stretch of the first shift. Matt's in next hour with Out to Lunch. Good morning. Welcome to the first shift.
Yeah, I was just waiting for trivia. You gonna do it, Emma?
Oh, I didn't get it ready, Susan. With the technical problems, it kind of threw everything off whack a little bit.
Oh, that's okay. No problem.
We'll bring it back either tomorrow or Thursday on the show, okay?
Okay, have a good day. Hi, first shifters. I'm San Jose.
How was Danny's Pizza yesterday?
It was really good.
Yeah.
We saw Pastor Jack's wife, Nicole, down there for a little while.
That's good.
Played the slots, and I won a little money.
You did?
Happy. Yeah.
Nice. Well, way to go. Well, thanks for checking in.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
Bye. Sidekick Susan checking in. 9:54 here at WRMN. All right, so I was mentioning, wow, there's a lot of things I didn't get a chance to get to this morning, obviously, with not being on for a little while there because of a Comcast and maybe a power issue as well. Well, I guess if you haven't heard it yet, it's still good news tomorrow to share with you on the first shift. Nini Rose checks in on YouTube and she says, "Hey, Brendan and Derica, I was lost this morning when you were saying wrong time, LOL." And Nini Rose likes Danny's Pizza too. So since I already started it, let me just finish this real quick and let you know that, and I'll be mentioning this again a couple of times later in the week, the high school football playoffs round 2 set in Class 8A. Number 4, Aurora, West Aurora, 10-0 this season, will play number 20, Maine South. That'll be Saturday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon at Park Ridge. Number 11, Barrington takes on number 27, Warren from Gurnee. That will be at Gurnee Friday night at 7:30. Barrington still alive. Class 7A, Hoffman Estates, number 25. The Hoffman is at number 24, Lincoln Way Central. That's Friday at 7 o'clock. 4th-ranked Batavia, 9-1, is at number 20, Lincoln Way West, 7-3 record. That's a Saturday 1 o'clock game. St. Charles North, number 3, is actually visiting Mount Carmel. That could be a tough one. That's number 19, Mount Carmel from Chicago. That's Saturday at 5 p.m. That'll be a big test for St. Charles North, 9-1, ranked number 3. And in 6A football, as I mentioned, Burlington Central, 8-2, takes on Geneva, 9-1. That's Saturday night, 6 o'clock in Geneva. Number 1, Cary Grove, is 10-0. They are at home. Are they the defending state champions? I think they might be. And they are 10-0 this season. That's a 1 o'clock game on Saturday. And in 5A football, number 1, Sycamore High School, 10-0, takes on number 9, Chicago Westinghouse College. That'll be at Lane Stadium in Chicago at 1 o'clock on Saturday. We'll go over that a couple of more times as we get closer to the weekend. But I started it, so I thought I'd finish it. 9:57 here at WRMN. We also didn't get to the Bender Dental feel-good start to the day, but I want to say thank you to Bender Dental for being back on board with us, and we look forward to talking about Bender Dental and sending you there and sharing positive stories with you every day. Today's story, as I had it planned, was about Hanover Township distributing Thanksgiving meal boxes to families beginning November the 20th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hanover Township Astor Avenue Community Center in Hanover Park. Registration is required at the community center. That's on November the 20th, 21st, and 22nd, so I have a little more time on this. So we'll save this and get back into it tomorrow morning with your Bender Dental feel-good start to the day. Tomorrow morning, I'll be here. I hope you're here. And we'll see what we can announce. We'll see what we know. And maybe we'll hear from some of our local candidates. We hope to hear from some of our local candidates today as well throughout the rest of the day, as WRMN will have election coverage all day long. We won't start finding out any of the results till probably after the polls close tonight, 7 o'clock. But Sonar, Bendamoni, and Boquist and our crew will be chipping in throughout the night to try to give you as much information as we can. I'll be a part of it too in one way or another, so stay tuned all day and all evening long. Coming up next, Matt. He's got out to lunch, then Tammy from 2 until 4. Keep it right here. We apologize for the technical problems, but on we go. It's WRMN on a rainy Tuesday morning, Election Day.
Election Day is here, and WRMN 1410 is your trusted source for